We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And today, it is the Barnes, Michael, Renee from the Couch show the day after. How are you doing, sir?
Dude, I am doing more phenomenal. How are you, dude? After what I would say was, can you hear?
No.
He can't hear.
I could try the other headset. I don't know if that would.
Let's just see what we got going on here.
Appreciate everybody hanging in there. Should I try it?
Yeah, might as well right now. I don't know what else it would be, Renee.
Okay, God.
I guess it's not plugged in there, Renee. It is. Down here.
Is this one on?
Yeah, it should be. You can't hear, can you?
Nah. If we're anything, though, we're flexible, Michael. That's the thing.
Well, I don't know what you want, what they want from me right now. I did.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
I mean, it's plugged in,
and it's definitely everything's secure down here.
They're all plugged in.
Roadcaster, volume from there. No, Bluetooth.
It's really weird. I mean, I'm good to go. You should be good to go. Folks, just hold on one sec. I'm so sorry. I mean, we could go on with the show.
Yeah,
you don't need the headphones.
I've had to do it before, especially when I've kicked it out. And I think a good way to start, Michael, is to just go with Matthew's comments here.
Yes, we'll do that. He says, "What a night! What a weekend! What a life!"
And he couldn't have said it better myself. And really like to thank everybody who came out last night to the Horseshoe. That was just so much fun. Definitely by far the best live show that we've ever had. And it was also nice, too. We had a lot of people that couldn't make it live, but that were listening in, commenting. And that's what it's all about. There was just so much engagement. And we look forward to the Horseshoe being our home for many more shows.
100%. I thought it was such a great night, such a good show, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just one of those good local businesses, and you really just can't replicate that. So really had a good time, and there's so much to get to. But actually, I guess what we could start with, Michael, you said you had a story for me.
Oh, yeah. So this morning I went to go get coffee for Tony, and I thought I had beaten him there to get him a coffee, but he was there before me.
Wow.
I know. And I told the
what was the time?
7:30 maybe.
Okay. And
I
you
told
knew
the
he was
cashier,
headed over, or it was just like an educated guess?
I texted him even before saying, "Hey, I'm going to go, I'm going to pick you up a coffee and have you start your week right. Just stay home." I thought he was home still. And no go. He was already almost at the studio. And I told Tiffany, who owns Tiffany's, this, and they were just laughing. And I called Tony while I was paying, and he was laughing.
That's
so it was
so
just
funny.
A funny morning.
Yeah. Like, what are the chances of that happening?
I know.
And it's funny too, because I feel like it was a little switch up for Tony, because I feel like recently it's like I'm here with him. He's sitting where you are, and he's like, "Yeah, I haven't had a coffee." You know what I mean? I think he's really looking to like start out the morning with a little extra kick. Start the week right. Obviously energized, from last night. And I think what we need to do, Michael, and I hope that we can get a good shot of this. I do have
you got a great shot of
Friday's game, the Tino Martinez bobblehead giveaway. So this is going to add to our studio collection. You think about everything we have in this room. So nice to add a legend, a guy that Michael
legend
was always a big fan of. We talk about the intensity, leadership, and Tino Martinez, a part of, the 1998 1999, 2000 World Series teams, and of course 2001. Unfortunately, didn't get the job done there. But you think about it, since Tino left town, one World Series title. So you really can't match what he brought to the field day in and day out. And also, we talk about all these shortstops like Didi Gregorius, who have come in to try to, fill the shoes of Derek Jeter, and Tino Martinez had to fill the shoes of Don Mattingly, which was, he retired 95, what were we, 3 years old? But he was a really well-liked Yankee, and unfortunately, just era time as we got the microphone back, the headset, we're all set. But we got, we got Mattingly there where, his last year, 95, they lose to Seattle, in the playoffs. He's thinking about coming back for the next year. Unfortunately, decides not to come back. And then, if he had known that they would win 4 and 5 years, maybe he would have thought differently. Nevertheless, Tino was able to step in, and everyone remembers the 98, Grand Slam in the World Series there, as well as, it was just so nice being at the game on Friday, the ovation that Tino got. I mean, you think about it, 1998, here we are, 2023. So, what is that? Is it 15 years?
It's about that. I'm not doing the math. I didn't even try.
All right. No.
I wasn't even trying.
I'm off here. No. It's 20. Is it? No, it's 25 years, Michael. How about that?
How do you feel? Young, 25 years.
And I remember
young.
watching the game with my dad, in our living room. And
Leon, the legend.
Yeah, we had.
That's what they call him.
We had Boomer Wells pitching, wearing Babe Ruth's cap. Michael, really just was a completely different time.
Wow.
But let's open up the Tino Martinez bobblehead. And what are we thinking? Somewhere behind me on the shelf here for this?
There seems to be a glove and a Yankee Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Right over your right shoulder.
So
and I feel like Tino can go right in there
just
somehow.
Place it on there. I'm going to do my best not to get all these like styrofoam things. I know you just cleaned everything, Michael. I'm not trying to
it's not super clean. Since we had the show last night, we had to get here early to set up for you guys.
Gotcha.
But yeah, here we go. Wow.
But look at this.
That's nice.
You want to talk about authentic too. And I don't know if you could see from here. And if you, he's got like literally the stains on the pants. Like that's how authentic this thing is. And I've told you, I haven't been a bobblehead collector, but this is a really good product.
I like the size of it.
Really authentic too. Yeah. It's compact. And it's going to fit in nicely. So
I thought it was going to be a little too big, but I think that fits perfectly.
Perfect.
Wow.
And I think too, maybe that was the problem with bobbleheads. They
were a little
always
too big.
Exactly. A little big, a little bulky. So that's just such good stuff. And it was nice too, because when I was there, I was mentioning how, we were with Corey and Sam and his girlfriend, Laura. We got there, the lines were just absolutely loaded. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can really count on being a bobblehead, but sure enough, we had a good entry point and got the bobblehead. So that's obviously always a little nice touch. And then seeing Monument Park. And I have a feeling, Michael, I'm just taking an educated guess here,
yes,
that you've never stepped in the grounds of Monument Park, whether it was at the old stadium or the new.
In the grounds of
center fields. Yankee Stadium. You saw on my Instagram
the old
story.
Stadium.
You did go to Monument
Babe
Park.
Ruth Stadium.
Yeah,
the house that Babe
you
built.
went to Monument Park.
I recall a preseason or something in my early years, but nothing crazy like you boys. You guys have fond memories there.
Oh yeah.
And looking to make some memories in the house that Jeter has built.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
And by the way, I wanted to say this earlier, but we had that whole shenanigans going on. It was really nice to meet your mother, Donna, and Leon. And we said it so much last night. I mean, it was ridiculous, like how repetitive I felt I was, but I felt like we knew them already.
Yeah, exactly. They were so excited. My mom texted me this morning, commenting on my Instagram stories, just really,
always
really
good to see Sam as well. So it was just awesome, and all your homies from home, and it's just always dope, dude, for the support. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Everyone definitely had a really good time.
Next time we're gonna be doing giveaways there, so make sure you come out. And it's awesome. I think it gives it more of an incentive for people to come when it's every 3 weeks.
Yeah, who's the only person that it doesn't give incentives to? Michael. I'm handing it to you on a silver platter.
Is it you?
Prefer.
Oh, Buffer. Yeah.
He did say thank you for the Sunday show.
No, that's very nice of him.
Very
I
nice of
agree.
him, but I know I can't count on him to show up. It's just
He did say he was going to come.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just usually how Buffer operates. And something else too to keep in mind. You were talking about the Yankees, your experience there. We were talking about it last night, and I guess we're thinking sooner rather than later we should be seeing that Yankee Stadium vlog.
Oh yeah, dude. Right now I'm currently doing the New York Comedy Club in Stanford, which we all have to go to. I think that might be the night out thing with all of us. That'd be a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's right down the street from your house, but that is coming up, and then we're gonna do it right after. I'm gonna edit it up right after and time it for some big Yankee game. So like release
nice.
You know what I mean? And I know there's every Yankee game's big, but
exactly.
I mean, one that Barnes is like, this is a good time.
Yeah.
So within the next 2 weeks, for sure, it's going to be out 100%.
And speaking of my mother, we got a comment here.
She says, it was very nice meeting everyone, ! I love saying the exclamation point. All of you are a great team, ! And thank you. It was awesome. We do have a great team. Honestly, it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great time. And of course, really appreciate once again, everybody coming out. So I guess what we'll start Oh,
I was just joking.
We're gonna start with it. I know, we were watching it on air, but I just kind of wanted to give a little deeper breakdown, Michael, of the golf tournament yesterday. Very exciting. The RBC Heritage Harbor Town Golf Links, and for Matthew Fitzpatrick, to defeat Jordan Spieth in a 3-hole playoff, almost ace it, from very far out. It was just so exciting, and Jordan Spieth to be so close. We saw the up close replay on a couple putts where, they just skated by the hole and he wasn't able to get it done.
Almost got a big smile from Barnes for that caption there.
Oh yeah,
I almost got it. You like
Fitzmagic. We do think Fitzpatrick, but I guess we could try it on with Matthew. Why not? Right. So tough for Jordan Spieth here. He parred, 18 and 17 the first playoff holes, but wasn't able to match Matthew Fitzpatrick's birdie. He had to make a pretty long putt. But you look at the overall body of work, and I know Spieth, he's looking for a win. But if you look at what he did this tournament, it was a constant battle back. He started out with a 68 on Thursday, 67 on Friday, 66 on Saturday, and 66 on Sunday. And this included a really, really hot start yesterday. He birdied 4 out of his first 6 holes for an opening 932. So it just, and I know this could apply to so many different things, so many different sports, so many just activities and just parts of life, but it's like, just those couple little things that Jordan Spieth could just fine tune in terms of consistency. And then I think, we will finally see him, atop again, winning tournaments and winning major championships. And we have a long time. And, we've talked about it a little bit here about that PGA championship next month in Rochester. But just early on, I really am feeling a Spieth PGA championship, a career Grand Slam, something that I believe has only been done by 4 or 5 golfers ever before. So just to think how monumental that would be with Jordan Spieth. And if we go back a couple of years before he got those wins at the Valero, where we were thinking that it was possible, and obviously he won this tournament last year, but we were thinking that he might lose his PGA Tour card. It was getting that bad for Jordan Spieth. Brandel Chambly, I might be botching the pronunciation just a little bit, but he was on the set of Golf Channel, saying that he has no shot, and then I think he might have won the next week. So it just shows, how, sometimes people in the media, especially on these golfers, it's such a tough game, and they get on them, and they really don't have a feel of, the heart of a champion. And anytime, you're Jordan Spieth, you're a 3-time major champion. Clearly, you're a 3-time major champion for a reason, and I think he's shown us that. And I look forward. As far as Matthew Fitzpatrick, we know he won the U.S. Open last year. He'd love to add another major championship to his repertoire. And this was only his second PGA Tour win. Has won a lot in Europe and in contention, a lot of other PGA Tour events. So he's obviously one of the better players in the game right now. You look at how he got to 17 under and winning this thing in the playoff. 66 on Thursday, 70 on Friday, 63 on Saturday, which really set him up to win this thing, and then a 68 yesterday. Going further down the leaderboard, Patrick Cantlay, seems like it's been a little bit since he's won. I know he won the BMW a couple years ago. He finished at 16 under par, 69, 65, 66, 68. He's another guy, looking for his first major championship. And you would imagine that time will come sooner rather than later. You think about these leaderboards, very common to see Patrick Cantlay at the top of the list. Another guy looking for his first major championship, 15 under par for Xander. He finished here at fourth, 67, 66, 70, 66. So one of the more consistent players on tour, just hasn't been able to consistently win, but you feel like his time is coming. And then right behind him, a guy that I've spoke, a lot about, Sahith Theegala. You look at how he performed in this tournament, went 70, 68, 67, 65. So improved every round. He's still looking for that first PGA Tour win. We saw very close up on Full Swing how rough it was for him to be that close at last year's Waste Management. Unfortunately, falling a little short, in this officially his rookie season. But I do feel like he's right around the corner due for a win. And he's a guy you could see winning multiple majors. So young, and just really has a shot to have a really nice career here. Scotty Scheffler, another strong performance, tied for 11th at 12 under. John Rahm, I think it was impressive. He went 72, 64 on Friday, 69, 68 to finish tied for 15th. So you think about Rahm, how wiped out he must be from the Masters last week, to show up to Hilton Head, unlike Rory McIlroy, and perform, finish in the top 15. You got to give props to him. And like we've seen really since, the fall here, Ricky Fowler, another top 15. I think after this performance, he's now 52nd in the world. So just outside that top 50. Once he gets there, then he's a lock, for all the majors and big tournaments. So it really seems like Ricky's rounding into form after quite some time of very poor performances. He went 67, 68, 68, and 70. So he had himself a nice tournament here. And then, further down the list, JT tied for 25th, 9 under. Seems like it's been a little bit since he's won a tournament. I guess the last one would be, I know he won the PGA, last year, of course. And I want to say, I thought he was in contention, but might have slipped out. I got to look at this. There's been so many events. That's what makes the PGA Tour, so special. There's so many events in the season. So there's always something going on. And especially with these elevated events, I think it's really, made there be stronger fields just, throughout the season. So the PGA was his last victory. I know he was in contention. I want to say it was at the Waste Management. I'm going to just pull this up just to be certain. Obviously missed the weekend at the Masters, which was disappointing, but we'll have a chance next month to defend that PGA Championship title. I guess 2 top 10s this season. So looking to get a win and add to his legacy. But of course, always, near the top of leaderboards, and it's just about putting it all together. But overall, I'd say this was a major success. Anytime you can get a loaded field the week after the Masters, a lot of people are tired out. A lot of people want to take the week off, but you put that expanded purse, plus the beauty of this course. I mean, you saw the packed, spectators there. You saw the beach in the background, the sound of the waves, the interest in how, it's not just about distance. And I think, that's why they're talking about the spin back on the balls, which I think is just insane. And me and Tony have talked about that. But just the fact that it doesn't matter how far you hit it, it matters, how your short game is. And that's why at the end of the day, Matt Fitzpatrick, was just very accurate throughout this whole tournament. And that's why he found himself winning this. And, congratulations to him. So the PGA Tour will get underway Thursday. Kind of an interesting event. One that, is very unique. We don't have anyone like it on the PGA Tour, but it's actually the Zurich Classic at TPC Louisiana, and it's a team event. So, you get two players with a chance to win. We have some interesting pairings, and obviously we'll get further into that, on Wednesday when we do our full preview. Last year, Patrick Cantley and Xander Schauffele shot an event record 29 under par. So you think about the team element of this, makes it so cool. They even did a sponsors exemption for John Daly and David Duval to get into this. So be cool to see them. I know Matt Fitzpatrick is playing with his brother. I believe his name is Alex. I think he just finished up college or is just finishing up college. So with a win, he could get a PGA Tour card, which is really cool. Oh yeah, it is his brother Alex, and he made his tour debut at the Valspar last year, and has played in the PGA Tour Canada. So this is going to be a fun event. And like I said, we are going to preview this on Wednesday. And I think overall, and I was listening to, I think it's the starter on PGA Tour Radio, Sirius XM channel 92. And they were just talking about in general the more interest that I think it started with the Masters, and they were just lauding the job that Jim Nantz does leading the way, on the CBS broadcast. And it seems like that, especially on Sundays, especially in a close tournament where the outcome is in question, it seems like, we'll take a look at the ratings, and I'm sure Doggy will be all over it later on Mad Dog Unleashed. But it seems like more eyeballs are being drawn into golf. And I've honestly seen it just myself, just with Tony, with Matthew. Matthew said he was watching it yesterday at his family's in Westchester. And, Matt was, obviously he would get robbed for the Masters, but he was really, other than that, not really watching these golf tournaments. And it's just amazing the layout of the courses, the skill of the golfers. It's just very unique. And it's even something that I know you, Michael, have kind of taken a liking to. And I could just tell your enthusiasm for the golf season this year is above anywhere where it's ever been before. You're ready. I mean, you're beyond ready. You've been ready for weeks, it looks like. No?
I think it was ready at the end of winter. Remember when was that gaming corner?
Oh, wow. That was a while ago. I don't even remember. So we got to set that date in stone.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Every time I see you messaging Instagram downtime,
you want to be on the course.
Yeah.
So we got to plan that. So we'll get together with the fellas on that. But a great event. And once again, congratulations to Matthew Fitzpatrick. Let's go now. I want to keep you engaged here, Michael. Let's go to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
All right. So, we did talk in depth yesterday about the Lakers' big victory over the Grizzlies.
That's old news.
Yeah, old news at this point. But I really was impressed. I was kind of, reflecting on it more. And just thinking about how it's crazy. I mean, they were an embarrassment to start the season. And now you think about it and you're like, listen, does it really matter that they were barely 500 in the regular season? Or does it matter that they had the best record post All-Star break in the whole league? And plus the fact, and we did talk about this yesterday, but that you don't need LeBron to have a 45-point triple-double. He has so much help around him. And he didn't go off yesterday, but he was one of the leaders on the team. And he had 2 blocks. So it's kind of, just refreshing to see at his age, at 38 years old. We don't see, the chase down blocks as much anymore, but he had 2 of them yesterday. So, kind of showing that he had some in the chamber for the playoffs. And I think I understand.
He's a playoff guy.
He's a playoff guy. And I know, because I get on people myself about, not going on the regular season, but at his age, you kind of do understand it from the defensive end. You know what I mean? Like, he's not trying to get hurt out there, and still, has managed to get hurt really almost every year that he's been a Laker. So you understand why he's saving it and really
he really has been banged up since becoming a Laker.
Right.
Compared to other seasons.
And I believe it was either his last year in Cleveland or the year before that, he had actually played all 82 games at maybe, age at that point, 35 or whatnot.
It's a thing of the past, dude.
But nevertheless, definitely, excited about that. So we'll keep an eye on that series.
I don't know. I really am. I would be worried if I were a Clippers hater, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to mention that 115, 110. And one thing that I didn't. So obviously, the Clippers played a great game and Kawhi did go off. He did answer the bell, but it's tough for me to get on board with Kawhi, just attitude wise. But I mean, hey, let's see what he does this series. It's just game one, but it was definitely impressive. And Kawhi, 38 points, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 13 and 24 from the field, including 3 of 5 from 3-point range. Also added 5 boards and 5 assists. But leading the way, picking up the slack, without Paul George, and one of my former favorite guys, Zubats. 12 points, 15 boards. So making an impact, down low for them. You had Eric Gordon, the former Houston Rocket, 19
shots.
points, 3 3-pointers. And then what I was going to get to, though, so Russ, typical 3 of 19, 1 of 6 from 3-point range, 9 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds.
It wasn't about that.
The big play at the end. But
I thought he brought good energy.
I know, but I just what it annoys me about it? I just feel like, I'm not saying that he needs to be like a KD 50, 40, 90, whatever, but he should be able to play without going 3 for 19. I feel like it's like a lack of focus on, taking good shots. And it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know, just cause he can. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of, that he just doesn't want to change for anybody and feels like, well, you know what? I'll miss 16 shots, but I throw the ball off of, what was it, Devin Booker at the end of the game, so that makes up for it?
He blocked him, first of all.
Okay.
He blocked him.
Blocked him and then threw it off.
And then threw it off of him. But I don't know. If you watch the game, he brings the energy. The team is playing well around him. And I think they're just trying to get to the next round and get Paul George here and make a serious run. The thing is, if I hate Russell Westbrook, which I've never been a fan, but I do like a good story.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, if he beats the Suns, dude, not saying but if the Clippers do,
right,
that's pretty awesome for him. Check. Then if they match up with the Lakers and the Clippers beat the Lakers, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely.
And then he wins a ring in this run, I'm saying, with them. What a redemption story for him.
It's kind of interesting, too, just because, I mean, you look at it.
It's almost lining up for it, I swear.
Since LeBron has joined the Lakers, I mean, the record against the Clippers is awful. Especially,
horrible.
Ty Lue,
because of
freaking the Clippers.
The big man, what's his name? You just said you love him.
Zubats, who was a Laker.
Exactly.
And I was always a big fan of him. But I do feel like, and I know, might be a little biased, whatever, but I do.
It's not if.
I do feel like, they are due to they're kind of sick of getting smacked by them every time. So that they would be due to possibly beat them for once. I guess we'll have to see. And I think,
come on, Tony. Come on.
I have to say too, just with, in respect to the Clippers and the Suns in this series, it's one game. Let's see what happens game 2. I do think, there's going to be a lot better effort on the Clippers end. Of course, Michael, like we always say, time will tell. And I'm thinking going into this, I mean, you're definitely thinking Suns. Has that changed anymore? Are you expecting them to win game 2? I mean, where are you at with that?
Yeah.
Long series, maybe Suns in 7 now versus 5 or 6.
You might see another Kawhi bouncing shot, dude.
Oh my God, that would be unbelievable.
I think he's finally. It's like he finally is healthy. He's finally in the playoffs. They finally have a good team. They know they can beat the Suns.
Right.
I'll tell you that. They know they could beat them, especially after last night. And people have to remember also the Suns have only been together. What is it, 6 games? That
year? Yeah, absolutely.
You're an advocate for hating that. So we've seen it the past 3 years. specifically, actually.
With the Nets, you mean?
Not even just the Nets, just like all those teams that try to form it's been other, teams as well. Like quick, kind of like, let's do it.
Yeah. And
But the
it's
Nets,
not that easy.
big time, hell yeah. And now even Dallas, for example, not, being in.
But we know the common X factor there. The non-team player himself.
Oh, no.
I mean, I hope, especially because I know Russell's been up and down, but I really hope that he's off the Lakers' radar after seeing how Dallas fell apart after acquiring him. I mean,
he's coming. Kyrie's going to end up. You know what I heard?
What?
I heard that after the season, win or lose, LeBron is going to go to Dallas.
Where did you hear that?
Inside source.
No, that's no. I could just tell you whatever source that is, they're wrong, Michael.
And Cuban's going to draft Junior.
So the thing is,
Kyrie's
a free agent.
Yeah.
Cuban, after seeing how this season ended, like is just
but can you imagine?
He would he would not want Kyrie for free.
No.
I'm not kidding. Because he wants to keep Luka long term, and he knows that was a complete and utter disaster. No two ways about it, Michael. Complete disaster. You can't make the playoffs with Kyrie and Luka, same position, blah, 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 blah. You could be an 8 seed. You could be in a play-in game. You weren't any of that. Complete embarrassment.
I agree. No, I mean, I would be in the playoffs.
Yeah. So interesting story to watch. Another interesting story to watch, obviously, being the Heat over the Bucks, 130-117. This game was on, obviously, while we were there. Butler, 35 points, 11 assists. So leading the way there. Bam had a nice, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Tyler Hero, a couple broken fingers in the shooting hand. So you wouldn't think that he's going to be, back this series. I guess we'll have to tell. We'll have to see. But Kevin Love, 18 points off the bench. So paying dividends for them. All his experience with Cleveland, of course, a couple years back. And obviously the big thing for this series is, Giannis only played 11 minutes, the back injury. It says the x-rays did come back negative. So,
back's always tough, bud.
But will he play again in this series?
Yeah, of course. He's a warrior.
Next game, probably.
Definitely. He's a warrior.
Yeah.
But he's risking long-term injury.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
He's going to play, though.
Yeah.
Anybody would play.
Right.
Especially,
not anybody. I could think of
I can think of a couple, too. He crowns himself.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that one. Anyway, the last game of the night wasn't really, as we used to say, much of a game past the first quarter. The Nuggets were up 3, but end up winning the game by 29 points. So showing why they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, why the Timberwolves barely made it into the playoffs, through the play-in games. Gobert being back, earning that big $200 million contract, 8 points, 13 boards.
I wish I was him.
I think a lot of people do.
As an NBA player, I wish that was my career.
Towns only 11 and 10. So the Nuggets just stifling them. I mean, 80 points allowed. I know it's the playoffs, but that is pretty impressive. Jamal Murray here, 24 points, leading the way for the Nuggets. Just a balanced attack. Jokic only had 13 points, but had 14 rebounds. Was 50% from the floor, also dished out 6 assists. Murray also added 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and you had 13 from Aaron Gordon. You had 18 from Michael Porter, also 11 boards, which is big. 15 from Caldwell Pope, and then you had 14 off the bench from Bruce Brown. So scoring in many ways, and I think this is one of those things where there's no gentlemen's, Michael. This is probably going to be a clean sweep. As the Denver Nuggets.
You have the broom out already?
Oh, yeah. And I think we have the comment out too, no?
No Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan performance?
No way.
You see what you did? You made us. Now we have to shift and pivot.
We'll talk about that later. Before
we will. I'm down to talk about that.
And then Vince's plastic surgery too.
Dude, first of all, that's not Vince. That's clone.
Whatever it is, it scared me.
It's not. Do you believe in clones now? Malfunction, system malfunction. That is, or that's not. I
haven't stopped having nightmares.
That's not him. Then, if you don't believe in clones, that is not. That's an actor. Then,
so I'll tell you about it, off air. But I actually know someone close to the situation, regarding that. So we'll talk about that later. Anyway, Matthew though was saying, A couple
so
things
yeah,
here.
so he says, Brian, so great to see your mother and your father. And then he said, the golf was crazy. And then he said, do it for your career.
Now, when he says career, do you think he's talking about speed
speed.
with the four majors?
Yes. Hi guys! Exclamation point. I think the Lakers can win it all after Giannis's injury.
I mean, he's right.
I don't think so, Chokery. Sorry, bud.
Don't listen to him.
It's not their year, bud. It's
No.
not. I know he's a Lakers fan, right? Not
Yeah.
a LeBron fan.
He's a Lakers fan.
Sorry, bud. Not their year. It's because of the jinx of LeBron.
Yeah, the jinx of LeBron and his 4 titles. Don't worry about it, Chokery.
Chokery, listen to me. Don't get your hopes up.
I said this the other day. This team, you talk about the depth of the roster.
It's the Russell redemption
far
story.
exceeds the roster that they had when they won the championship. So
I'm
pretty confident that they're going to make a run here. And what a turnaround story that it is. And Mike's talking about Russell Westbrook. I guarantee Choker is cracking up because he knows.
It's a Kobe fan. That's right, baby. Me too. All day, every day.
He knows that Russell Westbrook, especially his tenure with the Lakers, was probably for a starting player. I would compare it, and I know he loves this, to Josh Donaldson with the Yankees. It is the most embarrassing starting player I've ever seen. How many missed shots versus strikeouts with Donaldson? I can't wait to grill Cashman later at the question and answer, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Chokery knows it. He knows it. He knows it all, Michael. He knows it all.
He does know it, and he knows they're gonna lose in the second
round. But he does not know that. But we do have 2 games tonight.
Yes.
Nets, Sixers, and then followed by Warriors, Kings. We saw the Nets get blown out by 20 in the first game, but had a decent run, for trading away, all of their, obviously Kyrie and Durant and kind of leading the way with Miles Bridges here. You've always been a big Embiid guy.
Yeah.
So, are we looking at a sweep here? Can the Nets possibly steal this one? You got the Sixers, I believe, are 10-point favorites in this one. What do you kind of see happening tonight?
I don't know. I just think the Sixers, man, people aren't talking about them. It's almost like a perfect storm.
Embiid is like ready to make people pay. Like he's going like this. Like
yeah. 50 points, dude. There's going to be a 50-point Embiid game somewhere in this playoff.
Is it a sweep though? Gentlemen.
Yeah. I would say, I wish I could say gentlemen's because I love Bridges.
Yeah.
He hasn't missed a game since middle school.
I did see that. Yeah. It's like 300 something since he's in the
NBA, college, and high school.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And he was coached in college. Jay Wright, one of the best college coaches, and has really turned into a nice NBA player here. I agree with you though with the Sixers. I just think the Nets, next season I think will, take a step forward where they'll have a chance to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Not going to be this year, and a poor draw. I think if they had to play somebody else, it would be different. But I think I like them to cover that 10, honestly. The other game, and we didn't get to talk about this yesterday or the other day. The Kings, the fans are riled up. They won that first game against the Warriors.
You know what though? They barely won it.
Yep.
Without Wiggins.
I thought Wiggins was back.
No.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't play though. Really,
he did.
Not like.
I'll go box score. I'm pretty sure he played a full game, if I'm not mistaken. But you
could be wrong.
I could be a little.
You're probably not
off
wrong.
here.
You're not probably
126, 123 last.
You're already
time.
there. Jeez.
Yeah. You might as well just let me look it up at this point. Anyway, Wiggins played 28 minutes, so came off the bench.
Yeah. See,
but
dude, you know what happened to him?
Geez, I heard. If you tell me, I'll remember.
I'm pretty sure. I just want to get it right. Wiggins.
Oh. Okay. Yes. So a little. His girlfriend,
Mikhail Johnson, has been cheating on him.
Right.
With his best
and he
friend.
was out for months.
Yeah, he was like depressed or something.
And it wasn't an injury. It was just because of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. That's
probably
tough.
He probably really was in love.
But I think that's just a perfect example of
fuel.
We put these guys, but fuel, but also we put these guys on a pedestal. And we kind of forget that they're normal people, just like me and you.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
But just kind of going back to last game for a second. This is a game.
Do you buy the hype?
Well,
the Kings. They're doing some crazy stuff. The Twitter. I don't know. Like everyone's a little overreacting. I think
it's tough. I do think this is going to be a 7-game series though, and I would say Warriors, but them on the road, can they win a road game? And
Yes.
especially the way that crowd is, though. They've been waiting so long. What was it, 18 years that they hadn't won a playoff game?
Dude, I mean, wasn't it Shaq and Kobe?
Probably. Mike Bibby, Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Vlade
Divac. No, Page was my boy.
Best stroke in that era or no?
Maybe.
Up there.
Ray Allen.
Up there. Yeah, Allen was ridiculous.
Yeah. I loved him, though. He was my boy. Doug Christie was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Jackson off the bench.
Doug Christie, but then was it Jason Williams, too?
No, Jason Williams came for Mike. I mean, for Mike Bibby.
Right.
Well, Mike Bibby got traded for
Jason Williams.
He came in for Jason
Williams, yeah. But yeah, you look at last game. I mean, Curry had 30, 11 and 20 from the floor. Thompson had, 8 and 19, 21 points. Wiggins gave you 17. But you think back to the Warriors titles teams. I mean, what was their calling card? Defense. And I don't know, if you're getting that same defense, Draymond, like Charles Barkley would say, the walking triple single, 4 points last game. Did have, though, 11 assists, 9 boards. But, then you got Looney down low. Kuminga gave you 10 minutes. I like Gary Payton, but I just don't know if they have enough size, to go against the Kings. And, we saw what a big difference Sabonis coming over and that Therese Halliburton trade has made. And then anytime, De'Aaron Fox is going to go off for 38. And Malik Monk, a guy that I know you always liked, I always liked, 32 points last game, 2 of 4 from 3-point range.
Coming into his own.
And isn't it unbelievable? I mean, we already knew it, worst road record in the league, but that the Warriors would win 44 games, but go 11 and 30 away from, Golden State.
You love the.
Does it seem like we're getting a little, like the floor is vibrating a little bit right now? Wait,
yeah, they're vacuuming outside.
it's kind of like freaking me out for a second, like an earthquake or something.
Oh my god, they're vacuuming outside, folks.
But so Michael, what are you thinking tonight, and what are you thinking for the rest of the series?
I think you're scared for the Warriors to win another championship.
There's no way.
How do you know?
I just know.
You don't know.
Guarantee it.
No, you don't.
Done. Cooked.
No
it's
way.
Like when the Pistons lost to the Lakers that time, and then they never got back there again. You knew they were shot. You knew it.
No.
Isaiah Thomas. Yup.
You just hate us. Stop.
Yep. You remember.
Look
you remember
at
for
you go. Look at you
but
go.
What happens tonight?
Look at you go.
But give me some. I want it straight. What happens tonight?
What happens tonight is Steph Curry goes off for 50, looks at the camera and says, "Lambeer that."
And then rest of the series?
6-game win for the Golden State Warriors, and Draymond is on his podcast wearing his shirt saying, "Don't let us win another effing championship." And Barnes' face looks just like that.
So I think Kings go up 2-0. Warriors come back, win 2.
Okay,
and then after that, it's 1-1-1, right?
1-1-1, correct.
So then, win game 3, go up 3-2. And then I think Curry has one of his 4 for 20 nights. They lose in 6. The Kings going to the second round of the playoffs. What a story that would be. Those fans, have really waited a long time for this. And it's nice, too. They have that new arena there, Golden One Center. I know it's been around for a couple of years, but just a good place. The fans deserve it. They've been waiting a long time. So I think the first game will be a blowout. I think the Kings Warriors will be another close one. So something to watch. 10 o'clock. See if we can make it up till halftime. Time will tell, Michael.
Probably not.
But NBA playoffs roll on here. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray. There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Sayonara. Where did that land? Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it. Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
What?
No. Joe Greer just wanted more insight on the Wiggins story. So I told him I'll catch up with him after the show on that.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, we do actually, what I was going to mention, and we did recap all the baseball games yesterday, and congratulations to the Mets. They did have that sweep at the hands of the Oakland A's, one of the worst teams in baseball. So let's not get too excited, Tony. Anyway, but today, I guess today was the Boston Marathon, I believe. Patriots Day as well. I think they coincide, if I'm not mistaken.
What does Patriots say? Can you explain that to me? It
I'm
sounds
not
really
sure. I
lame.
just know that they coincide. And the only reason I was mentioning this is because, my godson and my brother-in-law are at the game. We were talking about that yesterday. And it looks like there's a rain delay right now. So hopefully they get baseball in. I know that'll obviously be a good time anytime you could see a ball game at Fenway Park, see Shohei Ohtani. But we'll have to keep you guys posted on that. And before we get to, the games today, obviously we know the Yankees are starting that series with the Angels actually tomorrow. I was just kind of thinking it's Emancipation Day in America. Okay.
You love those comments.
But Michael, what is because I want to get a good answer. I don't want to have like a bad rap with Cashman and Boone later, but I'm just thinking strategy wise. Like I just want to say, all right, I've listened to you guys laud Josh Donaldson's play in the field, and I know the metrics say that he's one of the best fielding third basemen in the league. But if you look at his OPS, his batting average, his strikeouts, his numbers are some of the worst among American League third basemen going back to last season. So I guess what I would ask is, why do you continue to put him fifth in the order when he's shown that he can't produce anymore? And number two, you have internal options. DJ LeMayo, we know, could play good third base. You got Peraza in the minors. We saw him start playoff games last year. Why do you continue to put Josh Donaldson out there? Is that a good way to ask it? And then I had another idea just about like cutting guys with salary remaining. I mean, what do you think, honestly? I don't want to come off as disrespectful,
I think that's a great way.
So but do I ask another, like, do I put anything in there about refusing to let guys go with money remaining other than A-Rod and Jacoby Ellsbury?
Yeah, why not?
Like, do
answers.
both of it. A two-part question.
Yeah.
And you honestly think that's not like, because they were asking them in the press conference yesterday. I forgot just about Hicks or something. They were just drilling them on Hicks and Donaldson, and like Boone was getting tight. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm just asking a question. I know they're not going to like answering it, but Cashman, I mean, right? And Boone, like, you got to answer to
Chiefs.
it. Like, it really is ridiculous. And I feel like we could have a whole show on the ridiculousness of it.
Oh, 100%.
So that's going to be fun. And I'll see what the deal is with the cameras, if I can get any footage of that. That would be hilarious. Like seeing like Cashman like raise an eyebrow as I ask the question, like tight, like
I would love that.
So looking forward to that. I'll try to keep everyone posted later on. So I did mention, the Yankees, are off today. The Mets, though, are in action against the Dodgers. And I think, this is a tough spot for the Mets. And I know the Dodgers, you look at it, they're only 500 this year. The Mets are 10-6. But it is a tough spot. And I think that is part of it. The fact that the Dodgers, need to win these games in the worst way, just as much as the Mets want to win them. And the fact, too, you look at the pitching matchup tonight. Dustin May has been one of the bright spots for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 1-1, a 1.47 ERA. So I think, a lineup that has struggled to hit, and we'll see if Brett Beatty, their top third base prospect, is in the starting lineup. Obviously that would make a big difference, but I do think, it's going to be a tough task. I think really what they have to do is just be very selective with Dustin May. I know he's got some good off-speed pitches, so you don't want to chase. And then David Peterson, 0-2, 4.91. I think he was okay the last time he was out on the mound, but against a hungry Dodgers team, I don't think okay will be enough. And this is a long road trip, a lot of travel, going from Oakland now to Los Angeles before they head to San Diego. So, I hate to say it to Tony, but I don't think, I know they just swept the A's, like I said, but Dodgers, a different animal. I don't think the Mets will get it done tonight. If I had to put a number on it, I would say like this is a Dodgers maybe 5-2 victory. So we'll see what type of effort, what type of foot forward they can put. But obviously, this is going to be a difficult, 4-game series here. And then, the fact that you have to follow up with San Diego after doesn't make it any easier. And just, that's a 10 o'clock game. Tomorrow, another 10 o'clock game. That one on TBS. Kershaw, McGill. Kershaw 2-1, 3.5. McGill 3-0, 2.25. And of course, we'll preview the Yankees series here with the Angels tomorrow as well. But just to give everybody an idea, and I know I mentioned it, yesterday at the Horseshoe, we got Suarez versus Schmidt. That'll be the first game. I believe the second game here is going to be, I believe this is supposed to be Brito. Let's see if he's still in the rotation. Yep. Okay. So they're going to go Brito versus Griffin Canning on Wednesday. So that one's 7:05, and Brito, was at the helm for that 11-2 embarrassment against the Angels on Thursday. So obviously looking to rebound, looking to stake his place in the rotation. And it's just interesting with baseball how quick things change. He had those 2 performances, 5 innings, 1 earned, and then 5 innings, no earned. So you thought, okay, I mean, he's got a leg up on Clark Schmidt, which he probably still does because Clark has been pretty bad when he's been on the mound. But then you would say Domingo Germán as well. But we know Domingo, the career high 11 strikeouts last time out. So obviously going to be interesting to see what type of performance he can have. And then they finish out the series on Thursday, the game that I'll be there. Patrick Sandoval, I think one of the better underrated, younger starting pitchers going against Nestor Cortez. We know Nasty Nestor, just how great he's been since being a permanent member of the Yankees rotation, going back to last season, and even the season before that, we saw him out of the pen, have a lot of success. And I think since the start of last season, he has like the 4th lowest earned run average in baseball. So looking ahead at that, you got 3 with Toronto, and then you go to, at home, and then you go to Minnesota, Texas, before a quick 3-game series in Cleveland, and then you go to Tampa Bay, which will be a really good series, of course. And we saw obviously Tampa over the weekend finally lose a game, which I was expecting. I didn't expect them I expected them to lose all 3 games. They lost 2. But I was close there, and I know the Blue Jays have been playing some good baseball. So you look at this division, Red Sox have actually hung in there so far, 8-8. Orioles right ahead of them at 9-7. Yankees and Jays tied at 10-6. Rays 14-2. And of course the Yankees 4-0-1 with the series this year. So, you're excited about that. You got Harrison Bader around the corner. I think that's going to be big. We always talk intensity, what an impact he can have. So excited about that. And then further down the road, Severino and Rodon. And I just wanted to see if we had any update on Rodon. That's going to be exciting. So let's see. We got 1 day ago, Rodon scheduled for a bullpen session. Boone, and then Aaron Boone noting that the team's initial indication that Rodon could return in late April was a little aggressive, but the hurler's recent progress suggests that he could be on track for activation in the first half of May. And it's one of these things. I mean, at this point, it's a long time anyway. So in like with any sport, you just want to make sure he's 100%, before he comes back. Same thing with Luis Severino. And I just want to see if we got any updates here. He's obviously further down the line, as is Tommy Kahnle, who's on the 60-day IL. Let's see what we got here. So
as we have a comment from Mrs. Materiello. Hey, fellas.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Tony's working hard in the VHS corner right now.
Tony working hard in the VHS corner. Did I pass him on the way in?
Yeah.
No way.
You did?
How did it
he's so ninja focused right now.
So he didn't notice me.
Oh, he noticed you.
Well, he doesn't even say hi. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I just thought, because I didn't see him, so I thought if he saw me walking in, he would say hi. No?
Well, I mean, not if he's working hard.
Fair. I mean, it shows.
Head down,
Head
Maybe
down.
He knows you.
Yeah.
We'll pull him in here and distract him.
I was going to say, though, so the update from yesterday, Severino completed a bullpen session with no issues. This was yesterday, and he should soon progress to facing live hitters, which should be his final step before heading out on a rehab assignment. So maybe not as far back as of Rodon as we think. So that's obviously exciting stuff. And you know, yesterday was great. I love.
Hold on, we have a phone call right now. You're live on the Sports Port.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? It's Tony, first time, long time.
How are you, Tony?
How you doing, Tone?
Oh, I'm doing good, dude. I actually just I was just driving. I had to pick up some allergy pills, dude.
Wow.
Dying
It was
today.
really?
Oh my God, I'm surprised you didn't hear me sneezing a storm up, dude.
I didn't.
But I'm surprised at both of you today, honestly. First of all, Brian, you know, I saw you coming in. There was no time to say hello. You were, by the time I noticed you, you were already in the studio. All right, rolling in hot.
Very true. Very true. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And also disappointed, number one, Brian, downplaying the Mets sweeping the A's. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, he said it's the worst team.
Dude, first of all, worst team, you know, maybe. But I think that, you know, I mean, the Mets got the job done. They do what they're supposed to do. Okay. So, like, you can't really discount the sweepage. But I understand, you know, Brian maybe expecting a sweep against Minnesota, couldn't get it. That's fine.
Well, Minnesota's 10-6, Oakland's 3-13.
Okay. I'm just saying, though.
So
it
am I.
seems like
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it seems like you're upset about that.
Did we drop
No.
the call, Michael?
No,
He's there. He just
Should
maybe
be.
a tough service area.
Tony,
Are you there, bud?
hang in there, buddy. Are you there?
Well.
Oh,
you're
here we
there.
are. Oh, we got you.
Okay. Just making sure here. Also tonight, I mean, Mets, I understand May is a really good pitcher, but I mean, I think you're also, once again, you know, maybe overlooking how hot the Mets bats have been. You know, I heard you talk about Beatty. He did get called up. Starting lineup, I don't think it has been announced yet, but you would assume they're not going to call him up just to have him sit on the bench. So you would imagine that, you know, his addition to the lineup would, you know, help us win. So, I mean, 5-2, I think, I understand, you know, tough assignment against May, and the Dodgers bullpen for that matter. But I mean, I think at least a closer game, you know, Brian, come on.
But when you say offense is hot, I mean, I'm just looking at the last 5 games. You know, they scored 2 against San Diego. Sure, a nice 5 spot against them. The following game, 17 on Friday, but then 3 runs on Saturday and 4 runs, including extra innings yesterday. So I wouldn't exactly say that they're on fire, no?
I mean, I would say, I would say they are kind of on fire, honestly. I mean, you talk about what they looked like last season, and even in the beginning of this season, you know, struggling to even score against Miami, really, and Milwaukee. You know, on top of that, you know, you have someone like Lindor who's just coming up like solo shots left and right. You know, he had the 7 RBI game against the A's on Friday. Alonso, you know, like leading the league in home runs right now. I mean, I think we have more than enough talent in the lineup, specifically right now. And, you know, McNeil had a big hit yesterday. Even Alvarez had a big hit in extras, which, you know, got him on base and able to bring a runner in. Like, you know, so we have kind of everyone contributing. We talked about Mark Canha even looking good at the plate. So, I mean, I feel like it's only a matter of time before, like, Marte is due. And I mentioned Beatty, too. So I feel like we have more than enough, I guess, ability to kind of run some runs up on the Dodgers. So I'll just leave it at that, Brian. And then, Michael, I mean, not knowing on Patriots Day, I think that's a bad job there on you, dude. I got to say.
Wait, I didn't understand what he meant by Patriots Day. I literally thought because Boston Patriots,
Right, but that's where the name comes from, Michael.
I know, I understand and where it all stems from now. It's all coming together, Tony.
And
Michael's
just,
like, what kind of fucking Tom Brady ass holiday is this?
but one thing that you could just agree with me with is
Exactly, Tony.
very, very basic thinking here. But the last 2 games, you know, the Mets barely able to beat the A's. So, I mean, what's going to happen when there's a step up in competition? I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask.
But competition.
Yeah, but I mean, But I mean, look at the Dodgers, Brian. Look at the Dodgers. I feel like they've been falling a little short so far this season. And I think against, a hot Mets team, who's, obviously having all the momentum in their favor right now, starting off this tough road
hot Mets team.
trip.
Barnes' face says it all.
The right foot. All right. I think you're maybe even just expecting the Dodgers. Oh, it's Dodgers. But in reality, I mean, you look at them. I mean, other than May, really, I guess Kershaw's been doing all right. But I mean, other than May, I mean, they really haven't been. Of course, probably Freeman is probably batting like 340 still. But I just feel like you look, at the way their season started. I mean, I don't think they're on the right foot here, dude. And I think, like I was saying, Mets on the right foot. I think they could run into some trouble.
I guess we'll see. I think it's just though, deep down that they have a more talented team. I mean, maybe the record doesn't reflect it, but
the record doesn't reflect it. And I mean, they dropped 2 games, I think, against Chicago, right?
Chicago, yeah.
So I mean, come on, Brian.
And a name to keep in mind here. I want to get an age, but James Outman, 25 years old, Redwood City, California, a rookie.
Wow.
Great home run
trees
early
over
going. He's going to be a future all-star. I want to say minimum a Matt Kemp type of career.
Really? I say he goes 0-4 tonight with 3 strikeouts. How about that?
Syndergaard's, I want to say it's the third game of this series. Third or fourth game of this series he's scheduled to pitch. So I'm saying that should be interesting. I'm interested to see it. No? He had 9 strikeouts last game.
You know what?
You want to know? I know you want to see them hammer him, Tony. You can't deny it.
Yes. No, I know, but I'm just saying, watch out. Maybe the night before, we want to give Syndergaard an extra day of rest. We've seen it before, Brian.
We have seen it before. So
Tony misses Syndergaard so much. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
I don't.
You miss him so much when they used to say Thor.
No, what do you think?
I'd rather have Andrew Heaney, Brian.
Hey, picked up the W last night. Big win there.
Yeah, he did.
Against Houston, who continues to struggle. 7-9 for the Houston Astros. Michael, what do you think Tony's face would be? We walk into the studio, Syndergaard no-hitter against the Mets. Would he even come?
Yes, he'll come. He'll be like, he'll do the whole. I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Just funny stuff. funny stuff there.
Yeah.
All
right, man. I gotta get out of here, dude. It's fucking people are paving the gravel here, so I'm gonna get back to work.
All right, bud. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you in studio tomorrow.
He's about to walk.
Of course, great.
On the show, yeah.
All right.
Great job with the show today, guys.
So
always appreciate the legend,
the original Anthony Materiello. But yeah, other than that, obviously a little disappointing that the Yankees aren't on tonight. But looking forward to tonight, drilling Cashman and Boone with some questions. Rays too are in action, so losers are 2 out of 3, obviously. Going up against Cincinnati. I think this could be a potential look ahead road game. You're going against Hunter Green. I get it. 5.14 ERA this year. But one of the more talented arms in the majors just has to put it together. I'm kind of predicting, Reds 5-4 at home this year, predicting a upset victory here over Tampa as they will continue to fall back to earth. So just keep that in mind. But let's go now, Michael, to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal! My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan Staal. Oh my goodness. That's the dot right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin. It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
When he just sorry, I knew you wanted to get in here. I got to get ahead of you. To get it in, he just walked by with a bag of Chips Ahoy cookies.
Wow, those are dangerous, especially at 11:06 Eastern. You know what I love to see? I just feel like, and we know this, Michael, but just the fact that us here at Downtime, we reach so many people. How about the last 7 days, 8.1K we've reached on Facebook. How about that?
That alone, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's I don't even want to look at the other places.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to mention that. And then one thing I was going to mention too, just before we talk about the games tonight, is I always think it's hilarious when Tony's breaking down the Mets. I swear to God, every single time, even though I do it all the time,
you're always down.
Like, no, I'm just like catching up on like reposting and stuff. And you're always like, you're cracking up and you're like, Barnes isn't even listening.
Yeah, I know. And Tony's just like,
yeah,
I know. I should just leave.
Oh man,
you gotta love
funny.
it.
That is really,
you really gotta love it.
So yeah, the NHL playoffs officially do start tonight. And I know me and Tony kind of went over this yesterday, but just kind of wanted to give just a game one preview here. And I know, we spent a decent amount of time talking about that Hurricanes Islanders game tonight. And I know Hurricanes barely slid in there to hold off the Devils for that first spot in the Metropolitan Division. They are minus 170 here. And I think, what we're going to see is a home crowd that I think will be riled up. You think about how long they've had to wait to get back to this point after the disappointing loss to the Rangers last season. I think anytime, you can't measure what it feels like to be a player out on the ice or, on the court, on the fields, on the gridiron, and just the adrenaline rush you get from the home crowd. And I think that's going to apply here. I think, you're playing an Islanders team that very disappointingly missed the playoffs last year. So, they don't have that playoff experience fresh in their minds other than guys, of course, who are on other teams, prior to, coming to the Islanders. So, and you look at the way they played down the stretch, the Hurricanes, their last, 10 games, they went 5-5, which not terrible, but not the pace, we saw them, earlier this season. But of course, a lot of guys statistically had great seasons. And of course, they will miss Andrei Svechnikov. But you think about Nikos, 28 goals, 43 assists, obviously a strong year. Sebastian Aho, another strong year, 36 goals, 31 assists. Brent Burns, the veteran, playing all 82 games, 18 goals, 43 assists. Brady Shea, one of Tony's personal favorites, 18 points, 20 assists. So experience, up and down the lineup here for sure. And I am kind of interested. I didn't see a report in terms of, what? Actually, I'll probably just check Daily Faceoff because I know it's kind of changed and Ranta was injured, but who actually will be starting in net tonight? I'm very interested to see this. Been a long time since we've been a Daily Faceoff, because we had our, daily hockey pick segment. But then once baseball came along, we kind of just focused on the Rangers and any, games of note here. So it's been a little bit, and it almost is like they redesigned the website here, but Ranta is unconfirmed. So I guess he will be starting. Sorokin on the other side. But I definitely like Carolina in this one. If I had to put a number on it, I think we'll see a lot of good goaltending. You got some experience here. Give me Carolina here, 3-2. Brent Burns, the veteran, game winner, overtime, 10 seconds left on the verge of a shootout. I think it'll be an exciting game. That one is on ESPN2. So I think that's going to be a great game. I'm excited to watch, and Bo Horvath, making his Islander playoff debut. Moving along, I mentioned this yesterday. I know Tony was a little, I think he was saying gentlemen's Bruins over Panthers for the series, and I just think that this is going to be ugly in every sense of the way, almost like when I think it was Colorado started the playoffs last year with like a 7 spot, maybe even 5 or 6 in the first quarter. I think we're gonna look, about something like that. Of course, we'll see. But I want to say Bruins to start off. We're gonna go 6-2 over the Panthers, so making a statement. And obviously, tough for the Panthers after that great regular season last year. Weren't able to do anything in the playoffs, and on the verge of looking like that again. The Wild Stars. I talked about this yesterday as well. Tony very high on the Stars, but a great start to the season. Kind of tapered off as the year went on, and I just think the Wild are going to be ready to go here. And I know it's difficult to play on the road, but they were 21-13 during the regular season, so had the ability, to win games on the road. And looking at so they are going to go with Gustafsson, which is interesting. So Gustafsson versus Oettinger. I'm going to say this is another close game, kind of like the Carolina game, but give me the Wild here. I'm going to say 4-3 over the Stars. Kaprizov, 2 goals and assists, including the game winner with about 2 minutes left in regulation. Last game, and kind of interesting, the goalie matchup here, they go with Stuart Skinner for Edmonton, and then not Phoenix, hopefully, a guy that Tony has been high on, but they go with Jonas Korpisalo. And I just think Edmonton, the star power, Kane, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins. I think they're going to be putting a lot of pucks in net at a goalie who's not used to the playoffs, not used to this big stage. And I think Tony feels like the Kings are going to win this series decisively. I think Edmonton has a gentleman's here, and it's just offense early and often. But we'll start with tonight. I want to say 5-3 over the Los Angeles Kings as they look to, get back to a conference final and get McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kane to their first Stanley Cup final, which would obviously be exciting. You always want to see
for you
the best players on the biggest stage.
You're right. You're right. That's why I don't watch college basketball.
But Tony, what do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean? Because they're not the best
tournament.
They're not the best in the world.
But you're saying because they're not in the NBA?
I only want to watch the best.
What about UConn?
In the world.
What about UConn? You weren't right. I thought you were riled. Like now, I'm almost feeling a little offended here.
No, it's not being offended.
Like
I'm just
that's like almost like a Tonyism.
Hear me out.
Right.
If I really I do like UConn. I do like basketball, but if I had a choice, it'd be the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I see Brian Scalabrine beating top D1 players that are playing in March Madness, it's just deflating to me to keep up with.
I just think, though, I think the regular season is a different animal, but when we're talking about the NCAA tournament, there is nothing to complain about, Michael. It's so unpredictable, so much talent, the up and coming talent, legacies are made. It's just so exciting. And I know, the NBA now with the playoffs, they're in a good spot. We all get it. But I thoroughly enjoy the NCAA tournament. But really, it's any sport. The big games, the playoffs, it's all exciting. And that's why right now it's such an exciting time of the year. The NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. We just are coming off March Madness. We just had Augusta. We got 3 more majors in golf. And then baseball. You know how it is with me and Tony. You saw Tony sweating it out with the Mets yesterday live at the Horseshoe. You're just fully engaged every night. And you're really, just a part of a long season. You want to build something special. And that's what makes baseball and sports just so special.
Agreed.
So yeah, looking forward to catching some of this hockey tonight. Obviously those couple NBA games, and then gearing up for this Yankees Angels series, starting tomorrow. And of course the meet and greet, Cashman, Boone, taking them to task. I really hope I get an opportunity to do that, but I'll have to recap that with all of you guys tomorrow. But other than that, Michael, anything else you wanted to add in here?
Isn't your boys are fighting soon? Javante
Davis
versus Ryan
Lewis.
Garcia.
Garcia.
You're so funny.
Wait, who is Ryan Lewis? Anybody?
he's someone. He's like a singer, I think. April 22nd. So
April
very
22nd.
soon, dude.
Very soon. Javante knockout by round 1.
Yeah, we're Javante fans over here, right?
Where's the fight?
It is definitely got to be in
Vegas.
Why even ask me?
I saw it before.
I know. That's it. I think that's a good. Hey, check it out if you want.
One other thing, I just saw this. I guess Bones wants to fight Stipe at MSG, and he's calling it a retirement fight. Do you buy it?
Oh wow, that'd be crazy.
But I mean, do you think would actually retire? I mean,
if he wins? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that whole thing.
I know.
Like, especially then you're gonna come out of retirement again.
Mm-hmm.
But just these guys, like they take so much time off.
I know.
And then retire, then come back when they want more money. It's just like this constant cycle, and
it's just beat.
Like, you know, where are the days where guys would have 70, 80 career fights? I know it's kind of tough to make it that far, but you know what I mean. They can fight a little more. Not to say that they need to fight like that, those numbers, but you get it.
100%. I do.
So something interesting to keep in mind. But once again, too, really, you know, I know we talked about it in the open, but last night was great. The start of a run at the Horseshoe,
100%.
A place that's been the food was great. A place that's been a second home for us for quite some time now, and to be able to get an episode under our wings and to continue that tradition.
Over 100 views. Thank you for the views, folks.
Absolutely, and all the views recently as well.
Yeah, you guys have been just appreciate it.
Yeah. Our Masters show, you know, got over 200.
Yeah.
So that was great, of course. And then of course today. We really appreciate everybody tuning in.
100%.
Continuing to comment, like, and subscribe.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Mighty Morphin Power Plumbers officially releases.
There we go.
Hammer it. Go hit the like. Hit the notification if you're watching. If you don't have your YouTube notifications on for us,
turn them on.
Turn them on. That's killer. It helps a lot when we go live to get the initial flow of our OG fans, to let all the new fans that don't know about us let us know.
Absolutely. So definitely, you know, check that out, as well as all of the archives, you know, on our YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, all the episodes of Screen Time, The Dream is Free, Sports Port, all of our vlog series, the Gaming Corner, and until the release tomorrow, the trailer and teaser of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as the spring collection at downtimetv.com. All the merch you need, definitely check it out. We want everybody to enjoy their day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us